Man, I'm such an audiophile now. I got my HiFiMAN HE-500 cans. Even got my pure silver cable for the electrons to float on up to my ears. Oh my god, this sounds so good.
HiFiMAN's for poor people. What?
Hey, what's up, Nerdgasm fans? Jerry here, aka Barnacles. And before you get too deeply offended by that intro, there's a little bit of a background story to it. I'll save it for a draw in my life, but I grew up dirt poor my entire life, and I had a lot of friends that were also dirt poor. And we would always joke around and say, like, if we saw some guy driving a Ferrari or something, we'd say, oh, Ferraris are for poor people. Or if you saw a Lamborghini, we'd be like, oh, Lamborghinis are for poor people. And it was kind of like our way of dealing with being poor, and it's been a joke that's carried forward. So I'm sorry if some of you guys didn't get the joke, but it was just too hilarious for me to leave out. So anytime you see something nice, you just say, that's for poor people, and it's kind of like justifying why you don't need to have it. But in the context I'm using it today, it's because a bunch of people recommended that I check out the Sennheiser HD800s. They claim that they are the best headphones ever made. Again, depends on who you talk to, but the majority of the people, when I said, what are the best headphones you could possibly buy, I just got a massive flood of HD800s compared to all the other people talking about Grottos and talking about some other brands like Beyerdynamic and stuff like that. The majority I got said the HD800s by Sennheiser were the best. So I figured, why not try them out? I've already got the HE500s, which are planar magnetic. These are more conventional technology using standard drivers. So I figured it'd be cool to have a comparison shootout between the two. Now, there is a huge price gap. The HE500s you can pick up brand new for, I think, about $700. And you can find them used for right around $550, $600 on AudioGone. The HD800s retail for $1,400. I was lucky enough to find a refurbished model on Crutchfield for $1,100. But you can still see that's a several $100 gap. So needless to say, I have huge expectations for these headphones, and I hope they meet them. All right, well, let's crack open the holy grail of headphones here. Now, just to let you guys know, I still haven't gotten my tube amp. It doesn't come until Friday. So I'll be testing these headphones using my same Zonar STX setup in my computer as before. Oh, man, that's a big box. Now, again, this is a refurbished unit, factory refurb. So I don't expect it to be perfect and blemish-free, seeing it was a $300 off retail. So here's the manual. It looks like it even came in a bag. First thing I can tell you is the manual for this is huge compared to the manual that came with the HE500. Oh, and that probably has something to do with it being in like every language. Let's see, what is this? Why do I have 3 of these? Okay, that's Japanese. That's German. Okay, where's the English one? Do I gotta flip them over? Hold on. No, that's not English. That's not English. That's not English. Okay, so I guess I don't have English instructions. I guess we'll have to go back and, oh wait, hold on, here it is. Aha, operating instructions. I can read the words. Okay, so anyways, here's a pamphlet with really cool illustrations. Talking about, I'm sure, how awesome these headphones are and reaffirming that you spending a mortgage payment on them was worthwhile. So, all right, Sennheiser, you know I don't like, you know, they talk about how flat the sound is on them, which is really cool. That's what makes headphones really expensive, is when they can reproduce sound exactly as it was recorded. Not like Beats by Dre, where it can just make every other sound like crap, but the bass is awesome. And this looks like it's a hinged box. Just to give you some size comparison here, here's the box that had the HiFiMANs in it, and here's the Sennheiser box. So I plan to put them both in storage because I like my headphones out where I can see them. So let's go ahead and open up the box. It's really nice. It's velvet on the inside. Of course, you'd expect that. I mean, gosh. The HE500s just had foam. This has like this like crushed velvet all over the place. Here's the cable for it. It looks like it has 2 detachable plugs, just like the HE500s do, and I love that in a cable. To be honest, though, I like this cable better than what I got with my HE500s. Now, granted, this is a pure silver cable, but it's all braided, and it comes unbraided and gets tangled up really easy. And I prefer a conventional cable as long as the sound is decent. And this actually seems like a really cool cable. Not quite sure how long it is, but we'll try that out here in a minute. And then, of course, here are the headphones. And we'll go ahead and get some close-ups of those. It says high-definition drivers, 300 ohms. Left and right is marked very easy to see. First thing I'll tell you is they are lightweight. If I grab my HE500s over here, here are the HE500s next to the Sennheisers. These weigh twice as much as the Sennheisers easily. So the HE500s definitely weigh a ton. And just looking at them, it's cool. It looks like there's like a little open mesh all the way around. The plugs, they don't look like they screw in. They look like they snap in. Let's see here. Yep, they just snap into place, which is nice. I do like the screw-in on the HE-500, but it's a pain in the ass if you need to take the cable off really quick and put it away. The other thing I noticed is this, the little ear cans can rotate a little bit. They didn't rotate as much on the HE-500s. Let's see here for size. It's got a nice band up here at the top, Sennheiser HD100. I even have a serial number, made in Germany. Well, for first impressions looking at them, they're pretty cool. I noticed the ear cups are huge. Look at that ear cup. And it's like a nice satin almost, I mean, I don't even know what kind of material that is. It's very, very soft though. It's almost like memory foam. So now if I grab these guys, my HE-500, to kind of give you an idea. So there's where your ear goes. Right inside there. And on the, hopefully I can get this on camera. On the HD800s, it's a lot taller. There's a lot more room for your ear, which I think is pretty cool. All right, well, that's the box. I don't see anything else in there. It looks like it's just a cable and headphones. And you can tell it's a refurb unit, mainly because it's got some minor scratching on it. Nothing, I mean, it doesn't look like these were used very much. They're probably a display model somewhere. And the cool thing about headphones, and I've done a lot of reading online, is headphones are actually a good thing to buy used because they take sometimes up to 100 hours of use before they're fully broken in and the drivers are producing their absolute optimal sound. So, you know, if you buy them used, that's less time you have to spend breaking them in. All right, well, that's enough talking about this. We got the cable, we got that, the box. I'm going to go ahead and throw that to the side, and we're going to try these bad boys on. A couple other really quick observations is they have the left and right markings, but because of the shapes of the ear cups, you always know the flat side goes to the back. So it's really easy to just put pick them up and just put them on, and you're always going to put them on with the right ears. The problem that I had with the HE-500s is they're completely symmetrical. So you sometimes put them on backwards, and you're like, that isn't right. But they fit the same way backwards or forwards. So I'm going to make a note of that, and the headband isn't as comfortable. So sound quality aside, we haven't even touched on sound yet. The Sennheisers are a lot lighter than the HE-500s. I mean, a lot lighter. They do cancel the noise out in the room slightly, even though they are an open-eared headphone. The HE-500s did not. They're slightly easier to adjust. I like that they have clicking points. The HE-500s didn't. They just move linearly. There's no click. And overall comfort, these just murder it. So if the sound is as good as the HE-500s, I wouldn't say to go with these for $300 more, or you know, even just for a used model. I mean, it's $1,400 retail for a new one, so damn near twice the price, just based on comfort. But that's a big thing. Now the trick is, let's plug it in and see just how it sounds compared to the HE-500s. All right, the cable that came with it is marked right and left, so let's just get those plugged into the right ears. The cables plug in and they have a very firm connection. Gotta love that. Okay, I have the cables attached. Another thing with these really high-end headphones, I mean, these are very, very easy to adjust. They spend a lot of time on the ergonomics of these. I mean, and you got so much space in the ears, you can put them anywhere you want. You can move them up and down and get it just perfect. And just like with my other headphones, you have one cable going to each ear. This is pretty common with high-end headphones because you get the equal distance of wire between the drivers. I mean, when you get into audiophile stuff, it seems like every little bit counts. I mean, you even look at the cable and you can tell it's braided inside of there, probably to handle some kind of like RF. And the connector on the end, the Sennheiser connector, it's actually a really, really nice connector, really easy to hang on to. So now we're going to plug it into my mixer board and see how it sounds. Well, guys, let's be honest. You know there's not going to be any audiophiles out there dropping like, $2,500 on headphones and then going and playing Battlefield 4 with them. But you're my demographic, you're a bunch of nerds, and I know that's exactly what you do. So for that reason, we're going to play some Battlefield 4, because honestly, music's great, I love listening to music, but at the end of the day, I'm more of a gamer. So which one of these two headphones is going to make the game the most realistic? Alright, so I got Battlefield 4 fired up. Now, the HE-500s were amazing in here. When you enabled the virtual surround, it definitely made the soundstage get really huge by playing tricks on your ear with the sounds. But it really did do a good job of surround. Like, I could hear things behind me and in front of me. So they do a good job. I have no idea how the damn technology works, but they do a good job of making stereo headphones present forward and rear sound that your brain understands. So now this is my first time with the HD-800. So I'm going to put those on, and I'm going to go through and run around and shoot some people and get shot at and see how they sound. Now the nice thing is I can still hear myself, just not as good as with the or the HE-500s from HiFiMAN. I can hear myself a little better. So they do have a little bit of noise canceling, even though they're open ear. I can tell you right now, the sound sounds way out there. I feel like I'm in a really big, wide open space. Whoa! Ow! Okay, so when you fire a bullet, that ringing, that high-pitched ring off of it, this produces a very, very sharp, more defined ring than the HE-500s did. That sounds like you're firing a real gun. Now, there's no way for me to convey that on YouTube, obviously, but trust me, when I shoot a lot of guns, and that sounds dead-on accurate. If my eyes were closed, I would swear to God that I was shooting a gun. They did an amazing job on the audio in this game.
Hey, where do you think you're going? Get back here, soldier.
That's wild. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys don't actually hear that. Here, let me try these guys. So left and right, okay. So unplug those. I'm not changing the volume or anything. I'm just changing headphones. Yeah, they sound good, but I hate to say this, but I think Battlefield 4 was a better test of the HD-800s, because the HE-500s now sound they don't produce that really high-pitched ring and those really high frequencies you get from bullets firing. Both headsets produce the same level of volume, at the same settings on the sound card, which I was kind of expecting the HD-800s to need more power. They both sound about the same. But the soundstage shrunk immensely. As soon as I put these on, I'm probably yelling at you guys. As soon as I put these on, I noticed a huge difference. It felt like the room got a lot smaller. These sound wide open. I mean, as open as you can be, right? I mean, even more open than my speakers when I'm playing with my speakers up here. Oh my God. Now, the low rumbles and the environmental noise on the HE-500s sounds a lot louder. And the sound does sound a little richer and I guess warmer would be the way to say it. But it doesn't hurt my ears to fire. There's a car alarm. Throw a grenade. The grenade sounded a little bit muddy. Here, let's try putting these guys back on. Now immediately you put them on and everything sounds way bigger and I guess more true to life. Oh my God. Yeah, no, the sound, the sound pressure levels are how loud it gets. The treble on these seems to be a lot louder. It feels like the HE-500s dive off when they get into treble territory. Let's try a grenade. Oh, I don't have a grenade. Damn it, somebody come kill me. Of course I joined a server with nobody on it. Oh, here we go. Resupply. Oh, here we go. That just sounds amazing. Wow. I've never even heard speakers that can reproduce sounds like that. That is just amazing. Holy crap, guys. I wish I had got on a server that actually had people on it, but I can tell you right now, just the environmental sounds, the gunshots, and the grenades, these things freaking shine. The HD-800's a whole different league. Now, For the music I was listening to, these produce more bass, more sound that's close to the ear, so less soundstage. They're not as comfortable and they're heavy, but they do produce that bass really, really well. But these produce a tighter bass. Like when the grenades were going off, the bass was sharper. Like you could hear the detail in the bass. This is more bass, less detail in the bass. This is a little less bass, but still, trust me, it was vacuuming my eardrums out when I had it cranked up. But this produces the highs, like the treble up above. Oh, 100% better than the HE500s. I mean, it's night and day difference. It's not even like they're a little better. It's like these are producing something that I've never heard before, which is really cool. And they're capable of producing a frequency that quite literally hurts my ears, and the HE500s couldn't do that at any volume. So that's pretty freaking unreal. Now, you guys know I'm not an audiophile. This is something I'm just now getting into, so a lot of the stuff I'm saying, a lot of the terminology I'm using is probably completely wrong, but I bring everything to you guys unscripted and live. So what I'm going to tell you right now is comparing these two headphones was very difficult to do. They both sound phenomenal. They both blow my Beyerdynamic MMX-300s completely out of the water in every way, shape, or form. I mean, there's no comparison there. But again, ignorance is bliss, right? When I got these HE500s, I thought that they were the best thing ever, and that, you know, nothing could be topped. You guys saw my review on them. I was like, holy crap, these are amazing. But now that I've tried the HD800s, the only thing I can really give to the HE500s after that is they produce a little bit of a warmer sound, like in mid territory. It's like if you're listening to stuff that it's got like bass, bass drum or bass guitar. It felt like the sound was a little richer on the HE500s, but the sound stage is very small in comparison to HD800. The HD800, you feel like you're in a whole nother world of room when these sounds are coming at you. But the one thing the HD800s did that I've never heard, like I've never even heard a headphone or even knew that that data even existed in the audiophiles to begin with, was it produced incredibly high-pitched sounds with ridiculous detail while the mid and bass was going at the same time. So you could be running around hearing explosions like in Battlefield 4, and that's where it really shined, was Battlefield. Holy crap. When I was listening to music, these sounded like they had a little less bass than the HiFiMAN, but the bass seemed tighter on the HD500s and more detailed. But it was really when I got into the game and you started hearing all these sounds come together. When I enabled the Dolby Virtual Surround, which, you know, changes the pitch of the audio and stuff like that, holy freaking cow. The HD800 sounded like you were in a big open space. All the little sounds and detail coming at you was just absolutely amazing. And when you fired a bullet, it rang your ears. Like if you've ever fired a real like AR-15 and you forget to put in your earplugs, which I've done a couple of times, it'll ring your ear. There's this piercing, high-pitched noise. There's the boom, and then there's this piercing, high-pitched noise. And they captured that perfectly in Battlefield 4 because it literally hurt my ears when I was firing the gun. It was uncomfortable. But I had it at a crazy volume level on purpose because I wanted to test these guys at near full volume. But the HE500s, if I just plugged them in, the sound during the mids and the lows sound about the same level, but as soon as you got to those high-pitched sounds, you didn't hear them. You just straight up didn't hear them, or they were washed out. The HD800 is playing back everything that you're hearing from those audiophiles. So these guys that are spending all that time getting these high-end microphones out there to produce these pristine sounds for the games, you know, I never would have thought that they would have even made the effort to preserve that kind of audio quality in the sound files to where it would make a difference on big headphones like this, but it absolutely does. So guys, if you're looking to drop shitloads of money on headphones, make sure you got a good amp. I got a Zonar STX sound card, which does a pretty good job, but the thing I'll note is at full volume on both headsets, I could still hear a slight hiss. It was slight, but I could still hear it. Now, I have a Woo Audio headphone amplifier coming. It's a tube amp that should be here on Friday, and I'm going to do a whole nother review comparing these guys together. So we'll see when we get it on the tube amp which one of these headphones shines the best. But as far as the STX using the virtual surround and for gaming, HD800s murder everything I've ever heard in my entire life. And as far as songs, like falling asleep here on you guys. As far as listening to music, these sound like you're actually there. You close your eyes and you sound like you hear every little detail, everything, the treble, the bass, everything. But the really low bass seems just a little bit lacking on the 800s. The HE500s, they produce a crap load of bass. They are fantastic with the bass, but the mid just sounds kind of, I mean, there's no sound stage. It feels like it's right up against your ear. Compared to the Beyerdynamics, it's still a crap load better sound stage. But it sounds like it's a lot closer to the ear, and the bass that it creates is really deep and actually rattles your eardrum, but it doesn't feel tight. Like if if the bass is really, really fast shifting, like in dubstep where they're jumping all over the place really, really quick, you definitely notice a lag in these between the shifts and sounds. The HD800 keeps it tight throughout the entire spectrum. So guys, I hope this video gave you a nerdgasm. I bought both these headphones personally, just so you guys know. Sometimes companies provide me stuff to review. There's no way in hell these companies would provide me anything because I am not an audiophile. So this is all out of my own pocket, but it's a space I wanted to get into. I figured I did the 3 huge screens here with the 27 overhead. I wanted to do something else extreme. So my eyes were taken care of. Now it was time for my ears, and I'm glad I did. This is actually some really, really cool tech, and you guys are going to see a lot more audiophile stuff showing up in the man cave. All right, guys, I'm going to go eat some dinner and go virgin for life it up with the wife for a little bit and hit the skid. So till next time. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, favorite, and subscribe. It helps me a bunch. Also, come follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I love interacting with my ears. Now, I have a wife and kid. I've been married for 9 years. And when they go to sleep early, I still want to game into the night. So my wife calls me up on the phone or comes upstairs and said, hey, will you please switch over to headphones? Well, up until now, I've used Beyerdynamic MMX-300s, which they're not slouches. They're a $300-400 pair of headphones. And I've really liked them. But after talking to a lot of my subscribers, they keep saying that open ear headphones and audiophile grade headphones give a sound that just is amazing and just is crazy, crazy good. And I got